That way we get more outreach to different communities and different audiences for sure. Ashton's gonna be here soon talking about Moonbound. I am so, dude. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for what Zealous is cooking and having that partnership. And we were talking about there was a lot, guys of FUD for Zealous when they first came in the scene and stuff like that. But my my proposal to you guys is to be patient and have an open mind because, like I said, if you looked at the dev team, if you looked at me, Ashton, Chris, all of us, our resumes as people building a token in a community, you would have been like, "There's no way I'm putting any money in that or trusting it at all." And here we are. You know what I mean? Here we are. So I think the partnership between Zealous and Nacho is going to be huge, 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 huge. We love what they're doing. The team is genuine, and the partnership and the synergy between Zealous and Moonbound is great, and we have the community to build on that. You know, super excited. Chris, you can hear me, buddy?
Yeah. Hi.
Nice, dude. The mic is working, man. The mic is cooking. Mic is good today, man.
Awesome.
I know.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
Finally.
I know. I know. Super happy.
And we just posted right now. I mean, yeah. Maybe Ashton should announce it, right?
You could put it in
For
the
Moonbound.
positive vibe stage.
Yeah,
Put the
yeah,
link
okay,
to it
okay.
so everyone can see it. Super awesome,
Okay.
man. Super freaking awesome. There you guys go. The Moonbound website is live. If you have any questions, critiques, ideas, you can just shoot messages in here and we can discuss about it openly. If you have any questions about any of the features on Moonbound, Ashton especially can answer them very intricately here when he gets here soon. Super excited, man. Super
Yes.
excited. And, we're going to keep building on these red days. All these days that are red, we're never going to stop building and, trying to bring the best to Nacho and the community exchange wise. Like the NFT flash sale was a huge success. A huge success. You guys really ate that up. I haven't seen that much passion and energy in the Nacho Discord in a while, but despite the price action, we have extremely volatile and down price action, and everyone's so excited and enthusiastic, and I love to see it, man. Love to see everyone showing out, snagging their mints because they're going to be very valuable one day. Not financial advice, of course, but you know the way I think about it is, Chris, what are we at NFT mints right now?
I think like 6,500-ish.
Yep. So
Let me
when
check.
um when Cas gets its EVM compatibility in smart contracts, and we have this 10 BPS coming, which is very exciting. Some people think it'll have price action increase. Some people think it won't. I'm inclined to say that I think 10 BPS is going to get a lot more attention from those big Twitter accounts that are talking about Cas and stuff like that. And I remember when testnet went live a couple weeks ago. We had the crescendo hard fork on testnet. There was a lot of like Binance Gems, all those different Twitter accounts talking about Cas. I can only imagine once the Caspa army doesn't have to say soon we're 10 BPS. Like no, we are 10 BPS. We are the fastest and most scalable layer one. It's gonna spread like wildfire. But when that does happen, and when Zealous is live as well as Moonbound, those NFTs, when people see the perks and the price action, the excitement, the euphoria in the Caspa ecosystem, people are gonna have no idea how some of you guys have 10, 20, 30 NFTs from Nacho. They're gonna be something to have, and people are gonna wonder how the hell you even got multiples of them. How'd you even find Nacho below 10 million market cap? It just takes an extreme level of patience and conviction, and we're gonna keep on building. Like I said, red, green days, orange days, don't care. We're gonna just keep building and putting the best on Nacho. So when the time is to shine, we have all the bells and whistles to get everyone's attention and draw more people to the Casper ecosystem. That's what it's about. Ashton.
Bells and whistles, man. That's
Yes,
what it's
sir.
about.
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing today? Sorry I'm a couple minutes late.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Excellent. We're talking about the. Of course, I always recap and try and give some confidence and stuff in the market sentiment because I know this is part of the game, man. And whenever we go through these times, I just go and look at the Sol chart, the BNB chart, the Cardano chart. I look at all the extreme dumps to 80%, to 90%, to 80%, those dumps on those ways to those beautiful gains that people think are so easy, but we're not professional traders and we can't swing the top and the bottom over and over again. The edge that we have as investors in this space right now is hodling. That's we're just not. I'm not good enough at trading. I don't know about you guys. I'm not good enough to swing crazy amounts of trades and stuff like that and double my bag and stuff like that. So the edge I do have is patience, and that's what we have to exercise. It's being tested right now in all of us.
I think it's a combination. You're hitting a good point, Dan, but it's not just patience, right? It's patience coupled with persistence. I think is really where the sweet spot is because your expectations, your emotional side of things, that's where patience comes in, right? You
Yeah.
just understand that there's always tomorrow, it's always moving forward, it's coming. But the persistent side is leveraging those downtimes to make smarter moves. So,
Yep.
if you are a trader, then sure, trade. Pay attention to the chart. Capitalize on the volatility in the movement. More power to you. I'm in Dan's category where I'd much rather code on red days than I would trade, and that's what we're doing. Is building, allowing the spring to compress as it continues. So we'll see what happens. No one can tell the future, but I agree with you. Crescendo is a big deal. EVM is a bigger deal from a hype and adoption standpoint. And I don't know. I'm thrilled that the Moonbound landing page is finally out there, man.
Dude, I want to actually
Been a
bring
lot
it
of
up
fun
here.
building.
I know I can share my screen. Let me see. Chris sent the link. Let's see if it'll come up. Here we go. Here it is on my stream. Let me know if you guys can see it. You might not see it from the Discord, but you will see it on the X and stuff. It looks, dude, it looks incredible. Incredible, incredible. I told anyone, if you have questions, you read the website, you're like, what is this? What is the leaderboard? How are we staking? Stuff like that. Please feel free to ask, especially since Ashton is here. He can answer all those questions intricately. Okay. This is gonna be
Yeah,
huge. This is
honestly,
gonna
I'm
be
just
huge.
thrilled. I'm here this week,
Yeah,
this
yeah. I'm
weekend,
excited.
I
I'm
should say.
excited, man. I
Last
am
week
very
was
excited.
was tough. I wanted to jump on, but I was sitting at a bar with my buddy at his. I think he turned 35. So we were like 3 or 4 drinks in, and I looked at it and I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea. I'm gonna hold off.
Cito said only 20 in audience. Yeah, man, it's those red days. People are touching grass. People are touching grass,
Yeah,
but we have a group of buffaloes here. We walk and run straight into the storm because we know that's the fastest way to get it over with. We keep building and don't let it linger in our heads that the price action is down. We keep building, like what we're talking about. All the bells and whistles make Nacho a super cat. So by the time alt season arrives and Caspa gets that attention, we start going parabolic. We start, expecting those price actions and price appreciations that we're anticipating. Nacho is more than ready to capture that audience and amaze people with what is capable of. The utility, the community, all of that is going to be way better than now. Way better than now. So I'm very
Is it
excited.
is
and
it
a good
touching grass or is it touching cuss?
One
There
of
you
two,
go.
or both, or both. Buy some cast and then touch some grass. There you go.
buy some cast while laying in the grass. How about that? Um,
And then smoking
Man,
some grass, right?
oh my god.
oh, okay. Where do I sign?
Wow. Buy cast and touch grass.
No, but to in Sensito's comment, only 20 in the audience. Who cares, right? No disrespect to anyone who wants to be here, doesn't want to be here, but the point of this call is to be available and get your questions answered and build in public. It's totally fine if people don't need to show up, every
Mm-hmm.
single week, or they don't want to, or they don't have time to. The red days make you not want to. But I think the key when you look at communities and projects and even businesses out there, right, is can I contact these people? I've got an important question. Can I get it answered? And the easy answer is yes. You show up here every weekend. We're here. We're ready to talk. Ready to answer your questions. So if you don't have any, just means that there was good communication throughout the week, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, well said, well said. We were always like, where's the questions? Where's the questions? But we do shoot out a lot of info in the announcements and try to answer as many questions as possible in the general chat. And always feel free to drop them. And I see that some people get nervous and stuff like that about the price action and stuff. For some people, this is their first time experiencing a massive flush like this. And I see, sorry to get off topic, I see Pygos in here. Pygos, I want to get your take, man. I want to get your take on what you're thinking about the market short term, long term, in a couple months. If you're able to speak, man, let me know. I love hearing your insights, man. It's very intricate and detailed. I think a lot of people can agree that we love to hear what you think, man. Pygos, please. Get up here, brother. Get up here, man. Sorry to put you on the spot, Pygos.
While we're waiting to see if he does or not, there was one comment that came to me in a DM over the last few days that I want to address. I won't call out who sent it, just for their privacy, but they basically, it was a really nicely worded message that was at the same time giving us some negative feedback. It was, hey, I love Nacho. I want it to succeed, but I need more updates, more communication in advance of when things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And this was in regards to the snapshot for the NFT airdrop and the airdrop itself. And my goal was to be able to deliver on it quickly and ensure that people got their things right away. So many times in crypto, we see these announcements where it's like, hey, there's an airdrop coming, and then you wait 6 months to find out when it is and where it is and if it's even going to happen. And we always try to deliver on things quickly and make sure that there's a lot of trust and confidence there. So wanted to get it out quick, but he posed a really good point that was, hey, I wanted to move around some things, or maybe I had an NFT on the marketplace that was outside my wallet. So that message kind of hit home for me. And we have a Monday call that the creator team does every week, and it's my biggest topic going into this call tomorrow. So
Sweet.
for you creators, be ready to talk about that. And for everybody else, keep giving feedback. It's good, and we're not perfect. We need to learn from these things and adjust. And what you care about is what's important.
Yep, I see Casper Queen in here.
Yeah,
Alpaca.
I mean, generally speaking, for airdrops, for example, right? When you see it on other chains, it's mostly like you said. You sometimes you wait for a month or I don't know, and you mostly have no clue when the airdrop will hit. And this is kind of fun for me, as at least in the past. It was kind of fun to just be surprised by it. But obviously here, when it comes to this airdrop, it needed some planning, right? So taking NFTs back from the marketplace, getting it organized in different wallets, whatever. So it's a bit different. It's not the typical airdrop.
Ooh, we got Pygos. We got Pygos.
I love how you tagged him after answering publicly. Like, dude, I'm not
What's
giving
up,
up.
guys?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to
I'm
hear your
good. I'm
reaction.
good. Yeah, I mean the market is red, right? But like you said, everyone's an investor, but some of us are traders, right?
Mhm.
And for a trader, these last few weeks have been amazing. It's very simple, right? There's a lot of volatility. And if you don't want to take the risk, just trade like perpetuals on Bitcoin. You don't need to be all exotic and trade Nacho. I would definitely not tell you to trade Nacho because Nacho is not that liquid, right? And it's not that easy to get in and out. Even with Gate, if you want to trade, let's say $50,000, I mean, you're gonna move the market way too much. But if you were to trade $50,000 in perps on let's say a maxi, you guys all hate the exchange. I get it. But for perpetual futures, it's great because it's very low fees. Um, so yeah, I mean the market's been great, guys. I mean, volatility wise, of course, whether it goes up or down. I mean, we don't we don't get to say whether the market goes up or down, right? All we can do is react. Um, and we can try and predict a little bit. But let's be honest, the market's not doing what it did in the last 4 years. The whole 4 year cycle is pretty much kind of gone.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, we're in April, we're supposed to be well, we're supposed to like have a little pullback,
Yep.
and then like March and February and January were all supposed to be bullish, and it wasn't. So I mean, that's that's how I see the market. So we are maturing as a market, and this is what people wanted, right? Everyone's always said like we need more, we want institutions, we want more money in the crypto market, and now we got it, right? I mean, there's so much more money trading now than when I started in 2016. So people got what they want, and now they're like saying like, nah, I don't like centralized exchanges. I want everything to be DEX. Well, guess what? These big guys, they don't want to trade on a DEX. Like, how can they move money there? It's not going to happen. It's the flaw of like liquidity pools, right? I mean, I've said that before. You cannot trade liquidity pools in big size because you would pump the market, and when you want to sell, you dump the market where there's no proper limit orders. So yeah, we finally got what we wanted, guys. And Bitcoin, this whole, if you want to call it a bull run, it's purely Bitcoin, maybe Solana, Sui. Um, but what else really? I mean, memes. We had really big memes. I mean, obviously, Pepe was created in this bull run,
Yep.
so that's a massive one. Some other memes. Everyone basically rides on the back of Pepe, right? And this gets me to the point of Moonbound. I've said it before, and people were very negative first in general chat, in the Nacho chat. I was like, I don't know why. Um, But everyone has a negative connotation with pump fun. But in reality, pump fun is why Solana went up, right?
Hmm.
Because everyone had to buy Solana to play memes. And that's exactly what Moonbound will do for Casper. If people want to create memes on Casper, they go to Moonbound. They put in the numbers that what they want, like how much the owner wants himself, and create a meme. Boom, easy, one click. And that's what people want, right? Everything needs to be easy. It needs to be one click. So if you have a great idea for a meme, you just one click, meme is ready. It will be on Moonbound, and if it graduates or not, I mean that depends on how many friends you have and people that want to have your project succeed as well. But it's an exciting time regarding that for sure. There's one thing though, Ashton, you can probably answer this, and this one's for a lot of people, because the website's only just live. So I went over it and I see Nacho Cat NFT stakers. They get a little bit of the treasury, and also token stakers. What kind of token is this?
So these are going to be one of the components that we're building on this is completely liquid token staking that will be audited and set up properly so that any token that is EVM compatible on CAS can be staked there and share in the revenue of Moonbound.
Including USDT?
That's a very good question that I hadn't even thought of yet. I want to say
I
yes.
mean,
I want to say yes, but I don't. I need to think about the implications a little bit. But I don't see any
yeah, I
reason
wouldn't
why
do
not,
that.
because the point is not earning from the tokens themselves, and it is single-sided staking. So there is no liquidity or impermanent loss or anything like that. The goal of that staking portion is simply increasing the utility for any token that launches on Moonbound. They can immediately go through and say, hey, we have utility. You're able to participate in this staking that earns rewards. And the second piece is to ensure that there's motivation to hold these projects longer, which will help stabilize, right? Again, a kind of deviation from the pump fund mindset of green candles and then pulling your liquidity and taking profits on everything. The idea is to build these projects that can last and people have utility. So I don't know. It's an interesting question, but you have the mindset of probably not. I want to hear why.
Okay, so well, in regards to stable coins, the thing is, people were like, "Oh, look, it's free money. I'm just sending." And this is whale talk, right? So some whales might have like 1 million USDT, and if they start staking now, the all the other people get way less because there's the bigger you are, the more you get, right? That's how it works. Well, with stable, there's very little risk. I mean, the only risk you have is that contract going wrong. But if someone stakes, let's say CAS, they have the risk of the price going down, or if they if they stake Nacho or any other or Kango, whatever, right? Whatever's on CAS. Um, so it's you see the problem there
It changes the economics and the
very
and just the
much.
fairness of it. Yeah, so it makes sense. We still are in the process of building, so we have to figure out a couple things on what's possible and what is even available on EVM at the time of launch.
And what's
Because
the revenue share you're thinking of for the Moonbow Treasury Fold?
what's that question? I don't fully understand it.
What's the percentage that you give
To
back to the people?
be determined, but
Oh, okay. Okay.
it will be above single digits from a percentage perspective for each category.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at Pump Fun, it's one of the most successful dApps on Solana, probably the most successful, right? It earned probably over 1 billion. So if you think about it, if if you were like, and in some way possible that you could stake something and get revenue from Pump Fun, anyone would do it because that
Exactly.
shit that would earn so much. So that's why I say no, no stables, because whales will come with massive amount of stables.
Yeah, it makes sense, and it's a really good call out. I think what might be important is allowing the staking for projects that launched on Moonbound versus any EVM compatible token. But
Oh,
we still need to work out a couple of these things. But yeah, to your point on the revenue share, my initial thought was essentially 10% to each of these three sectors: the launch projects, the NFT stakers, and the token stakers. But we haven't finalized any of that yet, and it's not in docs. So the goal is in like 1.5 to 3 weeks, somewhere in that range, towards the end of April. We'll have out hopefully a demo of the product itself, and all the documentation in like Gitbook style, and that'll have all of these
Okay.
set amounts finalized. But yeah, that was the plan, was to essentially target 10 for each category, because I think the revenue is significant enough that that's wildly beneficial, not only to stakers and NFT holders, but to the launch projects that can actually then do something with these funds to further develop their community and project.
Yeah, so if someone launches a meme on there, they can the people can stake that meme token,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
And on top of it, the launch projects have their own category. So the deployment wallets of creators that launch on Moonbound will have their own revenue share that comes to them. And that'll be based on the volume that they have on the bonding curve trading. So it's kind of a short-term initial project funding where they're able to capture revenue share from the trades that they have going on the bonding curve. And then once they graduate, they'll kind of get their one last final payment, and then they've got no volume, so they stand on their own from there.
Yeah. And so another question for Nacho Cat NFT stakers, it says power weighted. What does that mean?
System on their it basically is rarity aligned for the NFTs. So they
Oh,
call
okay.
it power, but that's what determines the quantity of value to the staker on Zealous. So the amount of airdrop percentage they'll get, the amount of voting power, things like that. So we're going to align with that exact same thing, so that Nacho Cat's NFT stakers don't have to try and play a game of staking on two different platforms, or moving them back and forth to capture both. Will essentially
Yeah.
allow you to do the staking on Zealous, and
When you say
we'll hop in.
staking, do you need to actually stake them into a contract, or you can just hold it on the wallet?
Zealous's plan is still in motion, and it's 100% their code that's doing that. So I'd rather let them answer, but my understanding is there's an actual contract, like you and I discussed last time. I know you have concerns about that.
I just don't see the point.
Yeah. It's their point, from my understanding that they've shared with us, is essentially an anti-gaming system for their decks, so that people cannot move around NFTs to different wallets to capture discount percentages on the decks, and then move it to their next wallet and continue moving around and capturing that discount everywhere. Rather, they've got to assign it to their wallet, right? Keep it in a staked contract that's their wallet, so that they're able to capture that discount over time, and there's less gaming of the system.
But
But
you can just
also,
unstake and move and then stake again, right? I mean,
yeah, the point is like a time limit, right? It's like I think they said 3 days, 72 hours to unlock the discount piece. But a lot of this is still in motion, right? We need to see their docs as well. But that's why that becomes important, because of the time limitation.
okay, but for Moonbound, it's just holding the NFTs, or you need to
For
stake.
Moonbound, we're gonna tap into the exact same contract that they're using. So the data that drives revenue share will be the exact same that drives their DAO voting and everything else. We won't create a separate staking system or tag a wallet on. We won't API call a wallet to see what's held. We'll use the exact same data from the smart contract that they're building for that. So it'll be identical.
I mean, this changes things, because the nothing against Zealous Swap, but Zealous Swap is only like a little fee decrease that you get. That's not really worth the risk. But if the Treasury Fold revenue share is decent, I think bigger holders will stake their NFTs.
Exactly, and that's kind of the some of the logic behind this setup, is that we're marrying these two. So not only is it an easier user experience for people having a single place of truth for this, there's also more motivation to do it, which helps all of us NFT holders, because they're held longer. They're not traded as often. There isn't as much floor price hits in that regard. So that's some of the logic behind it, for sure. And it creates more value too, that offsets some of the risk that you're concerned about from the staking contract itself. Because
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
we'll hit that
Because you
that
make some
revenue
money
share.
back. Yep.
Exactly, and that revenue share will come directly to your wallet, not to whatever staking contract or setup they've got there. You'll just be able to stake them and
When is that being
see
paid
the
out?
revenue directly. The Moonbound Treasury vault?
Automatically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
automatically it's going to be a smart contract that we get audited and do
Okay.
everything. The plan right now is weekly. We want to do weekly drops so it's as frequent as possible. The
Yeah.
only thing that could get in the way of that is gas usage, but on Caspa it's so small that I don't have concerns.
Will that be paid out in Casper or USDT?
CAS, all
Okay.
CAS.
Okay.
Yep,
I
because
just see. Okay, so
we
there's one
capture the
thing with
fees on
cast, right?
Moonbound in CAS as well.
Yeah. So there's one. I mean, Pump Fund obviously did that. You know, the Pump Fund guys, they got everything in Soul, and I mean, obviously they got a shit ton of Soul, so they dumped their Soul too, and so you kind of get the, you know, the dumps as well on the main token. If you become big, like if Moonbound gets really big, and let's say you make, I don't know, 10, 20 million in a month, right? You probably want to cash some out, Ashton, you know? So, and then you start dumping cash. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And actually, the motivation for paying it out in CAS was the exact concern that you have is that if we capture fees in the token side of things and have to convert them, or if we capture them in CASPA and then have to convert them to USDT to pay them out, we create that same dump cycle. And it's a regular one on weekly basis from the Treasury Vault. So it's the perspective you have is it's a real concern. And I agree with it 100%. But it's kind of one of those things where you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There is no easy solution to ensuring that CAS never needs to be sold in the cycle of these
Oh, for
economics, at least
sure.
that I can see.
Just alpha for anyone here. If this becomes big and there is a weekly payout, um, you know, short cash on the weekend that it gets paid out, guys, because it will get that little dump. That's easy money. After that, we'll pump back up. You know, it's that
you
simple.
you are always thinking of
Pygos is
the
always
future
two
things
steps
that are
ahead,
important
man. Pygos is
for
always two
sure.
steps ahead. Love it.
That's exactly it.
I
Yeah,
I
for sure.
mean,
So
that's you know that's logical, right? People. I mean,
it
you still
absolutely is.
cannot pay for things in real life with cash, so you know.
Yeah, not yet, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you 100%, man. And keep giving this feedback too, because this is a work in progress, right? We've got the landing page up. We are 99.9% sure that this is how it's going to happen and what we want to do. But it's building in progress. We don't have these docs out yet that are hard concrete set in stone that we want to make
Yeah.
sure don't change. So anyone, Pygos and everybody else, if you got feedback on this or you look at it and you go, hey, I got an idea, tell us because we can play with it. We're still in development here.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Good
mean, it's the
evening,
same
guys.
reason. Okay, the same reason on Gunzilla. You know, I'm an investor in that project, and so I know all the tokenomics, and I knew KOLs are getting tokens on day one. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait for a little pump, and I'm shorting. You know, it's yeah, it's if you got the knowledge, you do it. You know.
Yeah, 100%, man. And you got your finger on the button. That
Yeah.
industry that you're in is just right there. Bufflink asked a question. Can you make an auto payout on only the increase in price, but it will auto stake if the price is falling? It's an interesting idea. I don't know is the easy answer
No,
to you.
you
Um,
can, but no.
yeah, I think what's smarter
It's
or
holding
what would
people's money hostage, right?
yeah, exactly. I think what's better is to set up an option where people can choose on whether they want their payout or whether they want their payout restaked. And then
Yeah.
you can have the auto compounding feature, but it's your choice.
Hi, guys. Good evening.
What's up, Cito? Welcome.
Insensito,
What's
how
up?
are you, man?
Hi, how you doing? I'm just saying that Pygos, I think, is the only one who's entitled to ask a real question because he knows his shit. So it's it's just not for
No, no,
he
you are
doesn't know.
too, bro.
He,
One second.
yeah, can you hear me, Pygos?
I
We
think he
can
might
hear
be
you.
doing
I
something
think
real
he
quick.
had
Yeah.
something to do, but you're good.
Yeah, no, was just joking. And first of all, I would like to say sorry to the guy because I this evening I say to the guy to looking for a bridge, but it was just ironic. I didn't mean to hurt anyone in this community. I was just joking about it. And yeah, I mean, look, red days, good green days. It's guys. I think it's just a long term. This is a long term. You just put the money and that's it. Have a walk. Go back in a year, 2 years. I don't know, 6 months, 4 months, if you can afford it, and just put it. I'm the top of the 10 wallet in Nacho, so I don't give a shit where it goes actually. So I just put the money in and whatever. So that is
Top
a
10, man.
long-term
That's big.
investment. So
Yep, that is huge, Cito.
yeah, but this is not. Listen, I used to live in UK and I made a lot of profit in Caspa 2 years ago, and you can even take it out because in UK you have 5k 30 days in the bank. So what's the point? What I'm saying is like as long as you have enough USDT, you just keep it and you use it, you invest it. But cash out all of them, that would be a big trouble and big problem. So it's I'm not saying it's not the real money, but in a sense, if you can even take it out,
Mhm.
that makes the investment that makes the investment much easier. You know what I mean? It's not even real money. So to
Yep.
be honest, I'm not living with that amount of the money, and yeah, that's it. You just go up and down, up and down. Of course, you're gonna accumulate in those days because that's what you're gonna do. It's a long-term investment,
Of
and
course.
if it goes, goes. If it doesn't go, that's it. It's it depends how much you play, guys. How
Mhm.
much stake you put on into.
Mhm.
So it's I yeah, I used to mining Ethereum since the merge. I started in 2017 for fun, and then I came back with a 20 PC in the house, and my wife was trying to kill me almost. So it's and then I make some profits, and that when I sell all the equipment and I put it back in Caspa in November 2022, I think I put around 30k in Caspa in November 2022. It was actually the result of the mining of Ethereum plus some of my money. So
Awesome,
to be
Cito.
honest, it's just a gamble. Yeah, but to be honest, I lost so much money during COVID with stocks, so it just I balance most of those, But I think at some point you have to invest anyway. So if it's crypto stocks, you have to invest. So that's the. But crypto, I think, is much more easy to do it. I think so. Much easy because people don't know you have those funds, and then in the bank you have the zero on your phones, all of your account, your money is not even there in the bank. So you think you really have the money in the bank, you don't have it. They just show you that you have the money in the bank.
Yep.
But if everybody goes to withdraw the money,
Some people won't have money.
there's not enough money for it.
Mhm.
Of
Exactly.
course. So
No
just
one
so
found
just keep the
finan
crypto.
Yeah, no one found financial freedom holding cash. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's like the only things are like if you hold too much USDT or if you have too much USDC, you can have this. It can go under value sometimes. How do you call this event?
Red D
It
pegs.
goes sometimes can. Yeah. I mean, it could happen even that things. You never know, but you don't have the certainty of everything. But I prefer to hold. Let's say I prefer to hold 100k of USDT instead to hold 100,000 pounds. So
Yep.
I already bought a small apartment close to Milan, so I don't care. It's just at the moment I just put some money because I need to live somewhere as well.
Of course,
So,
man.
but it's fun, lots of fun, and I think you guys know a lot of shit. So let's see how it goes.
Bro,
We'll
bro,
see.
bro. In Sensito, you are like pretty much in the games the same year I got into it. I mean, I got 1 year early, I guess, 2016, 2017. So the same bull run. So I think you have the same amount of knowledge, really. Anyone who has seen at least two runs, which you did, should have the knowledge when, like, at least a little bit on how to trade. As if you've been that long in the market, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a day trader. I'm not a day trader. I did some future. It's not for
Yeah.
me. So I'm just long term holder, and that's it. It's
Wow, and you've been in since 2017. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
2017. But 2017, I was, like, can I say, I was jerking myself because, to be honest, consider mining to me now is just a bullshit. It's just a hobby because you want to be in the game to make money. You're never gonna make money with the mining. I'm
Oh,
sorry
that's
when
true.
it's like
Mining, you
this.
need to be very early.
Mining
Um,
is to be very early, and as soon as merge, I sold all the shit. I used to have like 3060 Ti. Fuck them. I sold all of them.
yeah,
And then
like
I bought
if you
Caspa.
mined
So
Caspa in the beginning, like very beginning. I mean, I'm not a miner, but it's how I see mining with any proof of work project. You have to be super early, in order to make a good profit. Because if you, let's say you enter Casper mining now, this is not, no slack against any miners, but if you put the same amount of money in Casper
it looks
actual,
like,
like in the actual token, and you buy the token, you're probably gonna make more than if you put it
yes,
in
you need to
mining
be
equipment.
early. Yes, you need to be early. You need to be early. You buy the coin. That's it. Listen, I bought in November, I think around 500,000 Caspa for 6,000 euros, something like this. It's just a fucking insane,
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then
in
I hold them.
2022. Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
November
Yeah.
2022, I bought like 500,000 coin X. So I just put it. It actually was the money was the losses of some stocks in COVID. So I didn't
I
give a
bought it when
shit. I
it,
just put
the basically the first few days it came on Maxi is when I bought it.
Yeah, and then when they went to the future with Kraken, it pumps up.
I
But I
mean,
was not following the
Maxi
whole.
definitely
Yeah, I was
pumped
not.
the price up in the beginning, like in 2023. The whole pump is pretty much Maxi, and then Bybit listed
See,
it, and then so after it already went up like what I don't know, like 10, 20x or something. Then Bybit finally listed it, and I mean it went obviously like double or triple from there. And
yeah, it
then
went.
now we're down again, like
Yeah, I sold. I sold all my Caspa on the first week of November, of June, last year. It was around a
You
million
make a
and a
very
half.
good point, Papi Nacho. Guys, no miners, no Caspa. This never happens. Okay, so like it's the same with Bitcoin, right? Like right now, would you go mine Bitcoin as just a regular individual? No, you wouldn't. But the thing is, there are big companies that will mine, and Caspa is the same thing. I mean, there's massive companies that mine right now. Look at Mara, right? Mara is mining.
Yeah,
That's a huge
but
company.
let
You
them
don't
do
need to
it.
be
We are
afraid
just a
of
small.
miners. Yeah.
We are a small retailer. At the end, with
Yeah.
$100,000, I consider us a small retailer.
Exactly.
So just
Yeah.
let's.
Even the millionaires and I don't know, maybe even people at 5 million, you're still small compared to these really big like mining facilities, right? So you're not gonna compete.
Listen. No, you're not gonna compete with those.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Tax
you're not gonna
deduction. Yeah.
compete with the. You're not gonna compete with them. It's just guys. It's so easy to get 10x from now. I'm just saying this, Nacho. Come on, 10x is with close eyes. With close eyes, just in May, June, July, whatever. At the end, this is just speculation with the Trump tariff. It's just speculation. They want to play, they want volatility because with volatility they can make money. They can short, they can go long buy. It's like this. So only few wins. It's always like this. Only
Yeah,
few
right now it's
wins.
great.
Only few
Mhm.
wins.
And I know a lot of people don't think it's great, but look at the volatility, guys. Bitcoin's down 3.72%. You know how amazing that is? You can look for longs right now because
The,
there will be a
the,
bounce, right?
Yeah,
So,
the tariffs should go on the 9th of April, and he says it's going to be negotiation. Of course, it's going to be negotiation. What do you think? The Europe is going to put more tariff on top of that? USA is the biggest. USA is the country that buy everything. Without USA, there is no economy. So
no,
the other country
no,
loves
no,
loves to
no,
trade with
no.
USA.
No,
China.
Insensito, you go, yeah, China, yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
China's
China,
very big
America.
too.
Yeah, China is like huge. But I think this is just manipulation and whatever. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. The money's still there. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, it's just I put
I
the
mean, I don't
money
live
in
in
and
China,
whatever.
but what I see from China, China is like a more developed nation than the US and Europe, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely, it's much forward. We are like 10 years behind China
We
right
got
now.
stuck. We got stuck 20 years ago. Yeah.
In Italy, where I'm living right now, we are 50 years ago. We are like Mussolini now, back to the,
We just take
compared to
their
China.
technology, and be like, oh, look at, we got phones too. Oh, wait, they're all Chinese, but we got phones too. I mean, or, pretty much
Yeah.
if you look around
No,
your house, look at all the tech products, they all come from Asia.
yes, it is. Everything come from Asia
You
for
probably have
sure.
an LG screen, or maybe you have a Huawei phone, or maybe you have, Samsung. I don't know. It's all Asian. So good luck finding. Hey, hell yeah, Bikar. I'm Dutch myself. I mean, we're good at trading, right? With the market.
Long term. To be honest, for me, it's just long term, and that's it. You wait. I'm not in rush. I'm not living with that money, so
Goedenavond.
just wait. I'm not in rush. I'm not living in gold. I'm a regular guy. I have a regular job. My wife is working, so it just we just try to catch 10x. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with
and
you, Pappy. He's in there saying when smart contracts come and trading volume spikes, a miner will be very profitable. I have that same mindset. I still mine cast too. It's basically break even where I'm at, but I can't help but want to help secure the network. Just
but
decentralization matters.
right, Ashton. But if you were to put all that money from your miners into the actual coin,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, of course.
you make more, right?
Of course, yeah. Today, absolutely.
yeah,
But I was
Yeah.
on my miners have been
yeah.
running since close. I don't know, close to a year, a little over a year.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
I was.
then it was still good. It was still good,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure. I bought the very first batch of KS 3 Ls from Ice River. So pretty freaking penny. I'm very happy that they ROI'd because they would not today.
I'm a little bit worried about the emission schedule of Caspa. It's way too fast. So yeah, people do say like, oh yeah, individuals should mine. Well, guess what? If you have this fast of an emission schedule, at some point it's hardly worth it. So you need to have a shit ton of miners going for you to make a decent profit.
Yeah, or just be a passionate Caspian that wants to throw a KS0 on the network and know that you're not retiring from it, but you're helping decentralize. It's kind of like node operators. I've run a Bitcoin node for God 8 years now, I think, and it doesn't make a damn thing. It's just an old computer sitting in my garage helping the network because it's fun. So yeah, it's definitely not a economically exciting thing right now, but you never know, and it has been before
Yeah,
for
it's for
sure.
enthusiasts. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
And
I
for
used to
like
have two.
massive companies.
Hmm.
I used to have two KS1, and I sold it, and another one is under my sofa in UK. Is hitting the lounge. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the purpose. Just eating the lounge a bit on my feet when I'm in UK sometimes because it's freaking cold there.
Someone really
There's
needs to
one thing
build a
though.
a solid like pipe for heating from miners. A solid, not
Yeah,
an
yeah,
actual pipe, but
yeah.
some sort of function that retrofits, a house HVAC or a business or something like that, where you can just replace your furnace with something that either helps the network or generates money while it's heating.
I've seen something like that for
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, same. I've seen it for BTC, and it looks like it's kind of funny because the KSOs look like little heat sinks. They're literally
Hmm.
designed like little heat sinks.
Yeah, I put the pipe. I put the pipe on top of the fan, and my wife who was looking at me would say, "Okay, that's it. That's." So I just put it back without the pipe because it
By the way,
it
we
was
all
crazy.
spend a lot of time, right, just looking at crypto. If you are doing crypto every day, which a lot of people are, because I see the same people talking in the Discord, so you're definitely doing crypto. Um, it's not a bad idea to just put like 1% of your net worth onto an exchange and just learn to trade. Like you don't lose much. All you can lose is 1%, and you gain like a great skill. And in the beginning, you're gonna lose money, probably. Some people don't, you know, but you're learning a good skill, and it's probably fun. Uh, it's very exciting to be in a trade if you're doing well, right? And well, even at the same time, even if you're in a loss, because you need to learn to trade in the right way. So you need to have a risk. Um, you need to put your risk right. So let's say you want to lose 1% or maybe 2%. So you're gonna use stop losses. I know people don't like that word. They're like, "Oh no, but I'm gonna lose money. I only want to make money." The thing is, okay, so let's say you lose 0.3%, right? You lose 0.3%, and then the next time you make 1 or 2% on the chart with some leverage. This can easily be like 5 to 10%, or even more. And this is how you grow your account. So like, it's not like I'm only winning. I mean, I get stopped out all the time. You know, in order to get into my gun short position, if I go on maxi, I got stopped out 4 times before I got in. Um, but that's like losing very little. I think it was like $200 to $300 losses all the time. And then when you finally get in, and it starts dumping, you're making way more back. So 200x shorting, no, no, oh my god, no, don't do
It's
that.
time. It's time for an NFA, Pygus.
Nah, I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about that. You can blame me all you want. I don't care. It's your money. You press the buttons, right? I don't care. So yeah.
I forgot you're not American.
Yeah, that's a US thing. That's a US thing.
Oh my
I don't
god.
care.
Pygos, question for you, man.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to take place with the crescendo hard fork? There's some people saying it's going to do nothing to price. There's some saying people saying it's going to take us back to 10 cents from here.
Okay.
What's your thought on that?
Um,
Because I
it
know
all
that.
depends on what the price does beforehand. Right now we're dumping. So when you're already dumping, you can only expect one thing, and that's the price, because the price can only do two things, right? It can go up or down. Let's say before crescendo, this is very much like the NFTs, right? So
Yeah.
let's say we pump all the way to 15 cents or whatever, or 10 cents, whatever, but you get a massive pump, right?
Hmm.
And then it happens. Well, of course, there's going to be a sell. Then it's sell the news. So it always depends on what does the price beforehand.
Oh, okay. So if it doesn't do anything beforehand, what you're saying is you might see a price surge. If the price surge is already pricing
Yeah,
in before the catalyst takes place.
exactly. Then it's priced in.
Got it.
And then you will get the warriors on X saying like, no, it's not priced in. But don't listen to anything. Just look at what the price actually does.
Hmm.
If it gives you signs to short, go short. If it gives you signs to long, go long. Um, you cannot care what people say. It will just wreck your brain, right? I mean, people are saying stuff all day. So like,
Hmm.
Yeah, listen, everybody, but think with your brain. That's the most important thing.
yeah,
Yep. Don't think other people's thoughts.
It's
Think for
all.
yourself for sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is
Gate
for
was
the
the same
society
thing.
as well.
Unfortunately, Chris is right. When we listed on Gate, it went down, right? Because the price pumped beforehand.
Yep.
So, um, but unfortunately, with something like Nacho, it's not that liquid. You cannot actually. I mean, if you have a little bit, it would have been wise if you had sold, obviously, on the way up. But if you have a lot, it's very hard. So, um, that's the
Yeah,
thing
but
about liquid and illiquid markets. That's why I like trading
yeah, but
Bitcoin primarily.
did you saw the volume on Gate? Did you saw the volume on Gate IO when they got listed? That's the most important things. And if the market recover,
Yeah,
Gate, no, they will give you like 10 times of the volume of CoinEx. So fuck the price action right now. We don't give a fuck.
I don't. Volume is
It's
not that important. It's important to me, but what's most
it's
important to me is
important.
liquidity.
Yeah, but if you have a lot of volume, that means people are interested in the buy and selling, the buy and selling. Okay, if the market go back green, Gate.io has a plenty of user, and some people wants to just
Yeah,
dig in 10K into Nacho without know what Nacho is, they will do. So
yeah. Right now, Gate is the most volume. I mean, of course, it says Ascendex, but guys, Ascendex is fake volume, so don't even see that. Um, it's definitely Gate. It's definitely Gate.
yes, S-index is, I think it's fake because you can
I
be
think
100.
Coinex and Ascendex do wash training, so that's no, that's a no bueno. But Gate is, I mean, obviously everyone knows Gate, right? It's a good exchange. It's just like Bybit.
Yeah, Lavendi's popping off, or Gig Daddy, I should say, is popping off in the chat there. Facts on CoinEx, and I could not agree with him. And this
It
might have
is,
been more.
yeah.
Just pull it off. Get your Nacho off CoinEx. Go put it on Gate or Pionex or something that is honest. There was a lot of movement of us watching the order book on the Gate launch day, and I mean, I it was wild. Every single time there was upward movement, there was like a 1.5 billion Nacho sell, and as we started eating it up, I didn't mind using my own cast to start trading and eating that up. It would cancel, and then it would come right back on, and as the movement up again. So I don't know who it is or what's going on, but there's a lot of movement on CoinEx that should not be there.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's wash
Yeah,
trading. And
because it's
Ascendex
all
is even
about
way
bot.
worse. Look at Ascendex, 125K. How's that even possible?
Yeah.
Like,
Especially when we see our market maker account and it's less than 5% of that. So that it's not us.
yeah, it's
Crazy.
them. It's that bot.
It's, it's all bot.
It's
So it's
fine.
all satellite. It's like this.
I think Pionex is real. Otherwise you don't get a deal with Binance, right?
Yeah, they're definitely real. They're new and small and maybe not as experienced as these other exchanges, but from our conversations, they're real through and through.
I believe XT is real too. Look at how little. They have no volume at all.
Well, we delisted from XT, so that's just like extra remnant dust crap they're dealing with.
They're still trading the dust at a stupid price.
I
Trading
believe it.
dust. Holy
Hmm.
moly. That's funny.
Finex, I
What's
don't know about
the
Finex box. That one is weird.
what's the last time conversation? It was about like 2, 3 weeks ago. You guys were talking about eating pigeon. What's going on here?
Who said they're eating pigeon?
It's a joke. It's a joke from the blockchain banter group. Chris Hutch
Pigeon.
told me I was on a call with him, and he said that
Pigeon.
he needed to go because he's getting pigeon delivered, and I thought it was a joke.
Uh,
But then we went on
I thought
this
it was
long convo about how he really eats pigeons.
listen, pigeons transport diseases. You know, in Italy, if you feed the pigeon, they give you a fine. And think about it, because they spread disease. So fuck the pigeon. You're never gonna eat the pigeon. You won't want to be sick. I want to be alive till. I want to be alive till Nacho goes 0.0005. Eh? I want to eat pigeon. Eh?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That was my reaction, but don't tell Chris Hutch.
do not tell him.
I wanna go with Dan. One after he pumps on the gym, I wanna go him and just buy like a double cheeseburger, something like this, some protein.
I am always down for some double cheeseburgers, bro. You know me too well already, damn it.
I
Pizza and
I don't know you
cheeseburgers.
personally, but yeah, but by your personality, I can yeah, give you a picture in my mind that you're a pump guy. You go there, you spend like an hour in the gym. It's like a hell. It's like a hell. When then you go out, you even forgot what's your name, and then you go to the McDonald's. I like to the cheeseburger, whatever it is, and that's it. And then you start to remember about Nacho and everything.
Oh my
He
god,
knows you
Chris.
well.
Yeah, why is he so accurate? Chris, can you confirm about the cheeseburgers? And eating like I'm 7 years old at restaurants? Do you guys have burgers
Oh,
and
dude,
fries?
when we went to Sydney, the only thing we're going to Sydney, Australia. I've never been to the continent in my life, and he's telling me about Hungry Jack's, which is the Australian version of Burger King. I'm like, dude, that's not what I'm here to see. Like,
Yes, it is. Plum
Listen,
sauce, dude. Exclusive
I'm
Australian
a
plum sauce.
listen. I'm a flight attendant, but 10 years ago I was on a cruise ship. I worked for Carnival as well. So in Carnival, they will feed us with a hamburger all the time. I love that.
Oh
I
yeah.
love that. Really, I was doing hamburger like at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I didn't give a shit. I was just doing hamburger all the time.
Wait, Dan. So if you would go to, let's say, Korea, would you go eat hamburger?
Listen, I don't want to give too much personal information. my wife is South America. I eat a lot of rice all day as well. I'm eating rice sometimes like a Viet Cong. I'm telling you. I'm
Oh
uh,
my.
I'm I'm a very multinational. I eating everything just because I don't want to cook anymore. It bores me cook. I know how to cook, but I don't want to cook anymore. I just want to eat.
You just want the food to
So,
spawn in, just enjoy the eating part.
yeah, I cook so much in a period, a COVID period, because my wife was working, so I was cooking for my son, and I'm telling you, it was a painful. It was painful. I was 8 months cooking. I was in furlough, get the money. I was not working, but I get the money as well. My wife was working, and I was cooking for my son every day, lunch and dinner. It was madness.
The only
So
tough part for me about cooking is that the patience it takes to cook and the fact that I don't chew my food and I like vacuum inhale my food, so I spend 20
Wait,
minutes
what?
making it and then I just eat the food in like 60 seconds.
Pagos,
Like
he's not
yeah,
joking. We're sitting in Bucharest. This guy orders 2 entrees, and I'm like in the middle of a conversation, and I've eaten like 2 bites. And I look down, and it's completely gone. All of it's gone, and my plate's just full. And I'm like, dude, where did it go? What's
Your
happening?
boy has
ask
to
ask
eat, man. I gotta
ask
replenish my HP, dog. Oh my god.
He
ask
was
him
almost dead.
to lift the table. You know.
But in
Then
Setso, you're triggering me, man. My wife starts a new job tomorrow, and I'm going right back to cooking lunches and dinners for my daughters. So I'm gonna be right
yeah,
back to where you were.
The kid cuisine
that's
and the
it. Just
Lunchables,
buy
Ashton?
ketchup, mayonnaise, and pickles.
Yeah, exactly.
You gonna start serving him kid cuisine and Lunchables or what? That's the Ashton
Yeah, sure.
cooking? The Dino
Hell yeah.
Noogies?
Dino Nuggets. Yes.
Oh my god, they're
You're funny.
legendary. And the smiley
Yeah,
french
listen,
fries and the Dino Nuggies.
you can invite Dan for dinner because you're cooking for your son. So you invite Dan, hamburger, that's it.
Yep, hamburger, that's it. It's a wrap. That's it.
Most expensive hamburger ever. What's a flight from Romania to LA cost?
Yeah.
That's I have a lot of friends from Romania, from Constanza,
Burgers. You
Romania.
guys are making me hungry. Fuck. I'm hungry now.
Dan, I gotta run to a YouTube live stream. It starts in 30 minutes. I want to get a little bit of prep in before that. What other questions we got in the chat or anything that we can
Yeah,
hit?
honestly, I'm gonna wrap it up here soon. We've been going for an hour strong so far. We covered a lot of topics. We got to hear some alpha from Pygos. Pygos, thank you for coming up here. Sito, we all wanted to hear you,
No
brother,
worries.
and it's awesome to hear you talk, man. You're awesome. You're a big character in the community. You get a lot of attention and reactions from people, and you have that stoic mindset when everything's dumping and everyone's scared, shitting their pants. You start sending the toilet paper and you tell people to buy because this is how the money's made, and you guys know this already. We all know this already, but some people have to be reminded because the emotion just takes over.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
depends how much money you
that's why
can
you have
make.
to learn to trade, right?
Yeah, that's some alpha too. That's some alpha too from Pygos. Just 1%, guys. Not financial advice for me. Pygos doesn't give a fuck, but I give a fuck, right? 1%. Just learn how to trade with these times. You're building and sharpening skills now. With this volatility, it makes it a lot easier, and you can practice your craft while you're waiting, while we're being patient with this price action in the market. You can make the most of it.
Listen, Nacho doesn't go anywhere. You guys, I wish you 500-year living. Okay, so to me, to be honest, I don't care. Even I don't care where Caspa goes because Caspa is a huge technology, so it will be recognized at some point. So it's a long term. So it's
Yeah.
just whatever.
Yep. Agreed, man. Well said.
I appreciate the well
I don't
wishes
know.
too. I joke with my wife that I need to get a tattoo on my chest that says always resuscitate because I don't care what's wrong. Bring me back.
Yeah, I can do CPR. I can do
There you
CPR.
go.
Don't worry. Well-trained flight attendant. In 8 years, I got lots of shit. I'm telling you, got lots
Very
of
nice.
shit. Even
Happy asked
I
a,
can.
a good question in the chat. He said, "What is the value of the cat claim for shopping RTK, which is Rock the Caspa?" It's a pack that we're building. So we're working with them, and it's rather than like a gift card dollar amount, what we're doing is building a pack of the merch that they sell. So, I don't have it finalized yet because they have to build it in their site, and I'm working with Tom, Chris Hutch's brother, that runs that. But it's going to be a pack that you get to choose from. So our goal is like, T-shirt plus other things, or hat plus other things, so people can choose what they want, and it'll just be discounted to zero for their. It's like a coupon code rather than a gift card. So what they're going to do, it's easier for them to just invoice us or bill us directly for what you guys buy rather than creating gift cards. So they're going to mark down the certain packs to zero, and then you can check out, handle the shipping, choose where you want to go yourself, so we don't have to get any of the address or anything, and then they can just invoice us directly for the cost of those merch packs that you buy. So give us like a week and a half to finalize that. You got to claim it in so that they can invoice us without leaving it open for like 6 months or a year or something difficult for them. So it'll probably be like a month or 6 weeks that you can go in and claim which pack you want. And you'll essentially send us your NFT to get that coupon code. Then you'll be able to go buy it, put in your code for the markdown to zero, and then they'll invoice us. So hopefully that helps, Pappy. Probably like 10 days away.
Nice, nice. Good answer. Can you hear me, Ashton, by the way? Because I left and joined back on accident. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank God I got the mic situation worked out. But
I talked so damn long I didn't even notice.
no, it was like a brief second. Let me see. Banana said he has one question. Send it, Nana. Send it, brother. Then after this question, we're gonna wrap it up so Ashton can make his any news about the place to the Nacho party. We already said this is Ashton's house. Okay, we said this like 3 times. You can
Stop
trust.
it. Lavendi said Dan's house.
No, Ashton's
Um,
house.
the only thing that's holding us up is venue. So I've got an entire like deck built for this, and we're already talking to sponsors trying to set it up, but it's really difficult without the venue secured. And
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with Prague venue outlets in Czech Republic. I think I don't know what the deal is honestly, but I'm not getting the responses that I want to. So I'm glad you brought it up, Banana, because anyone here who's good at event planning or wants to try to be good at event planning, or is based in Czech Republic, Prague, reach out to us so we can talk about this a little bit more and hopefully use your resources, your knowledge to help us. But yeah, reach out. We'd love more help with the event planning stuff. So I don't have a timeline on announcing it. We hoped it was already going to happen, but the first venue we were talking to fell through. So I went back to the drawing board of reaching out to him.
Okay. Well, that answers everything very well. Hopefully, Banana. That should answer everything.
Guys, good enough, and thank you for letting me speak and to hear my bullshit. And that's it. Have a good night.
Hey, we
Stay
appreciate you,
safe.
brother. Thank you for stopping by, man.
Accumulate Nacho. Good enough and good morgen. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao.
You know
Hey,
If
Dutch,
any,
yeah?
German. I like it.
We love Cedar.
Yeah,
Toute la
he,
maison.
he knows Dutch
Salut.
too.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Yeah.
if anyone's around, the YouTube live I'm going to is the new blockchain banter space or YouTube that they announced. So it's they're calling it Sunday Roast. So we're just having a fun kickback chat about kind of ridiculous posts on X and things in the community that are funny and chatting about them and going through them.
Ooh,
So
that sounds
it should
fun.
be
Roast Litecoin. Roast
yeah
Litecoin, please. Thank you.
Roast
yeah
Litecoin
okay.
unofficially.
Yeah, right, exactly. And thanks to JD. That's a good thing. Oh, good call, Pappy. I don't know. Lavendi, are you still here? Can you grab the link to Crypto Pump's live stream and drop it in the chat here, if you don't mind? Look at him. He was already on it.
Dude, wasted no time. Nice, lavish. Nice. Thanks, brother.
There it is, guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
All right, see you guys. Thank you, everyone.
All right, see you guys.